Hari Om Guru. Guruji, when you say that the world is, I am not in the world is in me. Can I say, and since I am Satchit Ananda, can I say that the world is Satchit Ananda?
Good. Question is straightforward. Can I say the world is
Because the world is in me. I am
Satchidananda?
not in the world. Yeah.
Okay. So, suppose in this example we say clay is Satchidananda. Can pot say pot only has a mind? Clay doesn't have a mind. Pot has a mind. Pot means mind, everything. So pot has a mind. Can the pot say, I am clay? Pot will say, I am clay. I am Satchidananda, it will say. Can the pot say, the whole world of clay objects that I'm seeing is Satchidananda? Can the pot say this? This individual pot, can the pot say? Answer is yes. Answer is yes, because everything is clay. For in this example, everything is clay. And if I am clay and I can tell myself as Satchidananda, then everything is Satchidananda. That is the meaning of Aham Brahmasmi. That is the meaning of Ayam Atma Brahma. What you just said. I'm just saying it in Shastric words. Ayam Atma Brahma. This Atma is Brahma. Okay. This I am Atma. What is this Atma? Aham Satchidananda Atma. Okay. I am Atma Brahma. Then what can Brahma be? It has to be Satchidananda Atma, because that is the equation right there. Shastram only tells us the equation. If the world is not Satchidananda Atma, then what? Then what happens?
Then it is duality.
That's it. Over. It is duality, and this analysis is utter waste. Utter waste or wrong? I mean, if duality is Satyam, then non-duality is Asatyam. Only one of the two can be Satyam. Some gut feel somewhere, there is a gut feel, right, that we have that says, you know what, there can't be two different truths going parallel like the railway tracks. It's not possible. Somewhere there is a feeling like that. Good. So thank you for that question, Hari.
So we can, Vedantically, we can consider the world is Satchit Ananda.
Correct, because that is the truth. Then what about the world?
There is no
Then
world.
what? There is no world. These statements come from this kind of analysis. There is no world that you think is separate from yourself. Let me clear a little bit. When he said there's no world, that people can misunderstand that statement. So we have to be careful people don't misunderstand it, saying there's no world and all. There is no world and all means somebody, if you tell it to somebody, they may throw a pot at your head. You know, our heads they may throw like this. Then you say, what? My God, what did you do? No, there is no world at all. They will tell you. They will repeat what you tell them. So you never make those statements. There is no world and all. There is no world that is separate from you. There is no world that is separate from Satchidananda. There is no world that is separate from Brahma. There is no world that is separate from Paramatma. There is no world that is separate from Atma. These are the correct statements. Means the entire world is pervaded by Atma. That is the correct statement. That's how we understand it. Otherwise, these English statements, they do a lot of damage. They have done a lot of damage. We are all talking like this because we are learning from all the damage that has been done also. All the translations, books, many books say all these things. And then you are sitting and wondering how there can be no world. How? My children are screaming at me. There's no world. I will go and tell them there is no world. What are you crying for? Like this? Is this organized talk I should have with them? No. Everything is there as it is. But we have to, that's why Maya and all has to be brought in and carefully understood. Because I have to reconcile the reality. Reality is harsh. Somebody said it's a grind. Monday morning, grind. This is Monday morning in India. And at least America, they have a few more hours left. But in India, the Monday morning has started, okay? Grind has started. And you come and tell me there is no world. I can't connect these two. I cannot. It's not possible. Only Vedanta can help us reconcile that. So, thank you for that question, Hariji.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Vaidyaji, go ahead.
Yeah, Jaykumarji, you said in the dream world, when you're dreaming, you are in the dream. Then upon waking up, you said that the dream was in me. So it's reverse. So where were you going with that thought? I did not make the connection with the text.
Yeah. So, all I was saying there is, just like I make the opposite conclusion when I wake up, maybe I did not complete that statement. The same opposite conclusion will happen when I analyze this Jagrad Avastha also. Okay, previously I've been telling I am part of this world. I am a minuscule part of this universe. Of course, the universe is incomplete without me, and I am part of this universe, but which is separate from me also. But I am going to end up saying, after studying Vedanta, this Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari is in me. Means what? In Atma. Matstani Sarva Bhutani, I am going to say. Matstani means what? Everything is in me. I am the Adhara. I am not the supported. I am the support. What a big difference it is. It's going to be a sea change in our vision, which will have a corresponding sea change in my experiences also. I'm not going to look at the world the way I looked at before. Okay, so that's the connection there. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jaykumar.
Yeah, Ramuji, go ahead.
Sorry. So, Pujya Swamiji also analyzes, even in the what you call Bhashyam, that many have not got properly and not explaining properly, misdirection, misunderstanding they create by their own lack of proper understanding of the words by Shankaracharya. Pujya Swamiji makes that comments.
Yeah, so this is an interesting comment. I didn't go there, but since you asked, Swamiji, of course, he will make fun of, without naming names, he will talk about all these translations. And I mean, one book, without again naming names, Bhagavad Gita as it is. Bhagavad Gita as it is, correct? Now, as it is means what? As Krishna spoke. That means all the Sanskrit shlokas, assuming Krishna spoke in Sanskrit, it's all must be in Sanskrit only. But then there is some English translation, then there is an English explanation that also Krishna gave as it is. You have to be careful what you say. Swamiji says, how can you give a title like this? Bhagavad Gita as I see it would be much better. As I see it. Okay, that's perfect. As it should be understood. Okay, that also is fine. As it should be understood also is fine. But as it is and all, you can't say all that. So people like that, he will make fun a little bit. But then he will criticize his own students sometimes. And he will say like this and say, sometimes even my students say all these things. Like that he will add comma, semicolon, and then he adds this. Means he's watching all the people teaching. And it's easy to get carried away. carried away, not knowing the impact of the words that we are uttering. Simply sitting and saying words is not teaching. Understanding what happens to the mind of the listener and appreciating all the nuances, because Vedanta has to be protected. Only then it can be protected. Otherwise, it won't deliver its goods. Simply, we will all be scholars of Advaita Vedanta. We know this shloka, this mantra, this Upanishads. That is not. We are talking about a massive transformation here. Thank you, Vaidyaji.
And
Prasad.
changing the subject, how was your address at the this thing?
Yeah, I'll mention that at the Azim Premji University. I'll talk about that. Yeah, Prasad, go ahead.
Namaste, Jaykumarji. When we were talking about Hariji's question, we talked about two truths, right? I mean, it could not be two truths. So I'm just thinking, like Advaita, as we study, the reality of non-duality does not contradict with experience of duality, right? So if you take example of the blue sky or mirage, right? They are there. And so I was wondering how this contradiction is interpreted by the dualists, because it's something which you see here very clearly. So I was wondering about that.
That is a very good question. I hope you all understood what Prasad ji is asking. Prasad ji is asking a very simple question. The sky is blue. Sky is blue. But then science comes and says, first of all, there is no such thing as sky. Oh, look at this. There is no such thing as sky, an object called sky. And on top of that, you are saying there is an object called sky which is blue. Blue also is due to some scattering and all they say. Okay, light scattering. Then how do you explain all this? Okay, light scattering. They have some light thing. And why do I see it as an object? Science is not interested in that. It doesn't, beyond that, there is no value. Science does not see a value to all this. This is why I claim that science, see, mirage water, let's take another example, mirage water. So this total internal reflection and all, they have all these ideas. We studied all these things. So because there is some kind of reflection due to density, rare atmosphere on top of the, oh no, maybe the other way. Maybe the rare is at the bottom and I think it's rising. I forget now. I think that's what it is. Rare is on top and therefore there's a reflection. And explained. But why I see it and how it impacts me, all that is not there in the science at all. It becomes spiritual after that. Science has no purpose for these examples other than to explain how it happens. That's about it. But the fact that the whole world is mithya and all, there is no chance. Science can stretch itself, but for that, something else is needed, Prasadji. I'm waiting for it, and at the same time, I'm not waiting for it also.
And you mentioned science. I don't know. I don't understand what do you call the wisdom of scientists. The science knowledge is based on what is observed. Now, the subject of our spiritual knowledge is observer. Now, when you are looking through the microscope, so you are trying to observe other side. Hey, what it's on the other side, which is there actually. So you are trying to see some material, right, through the microscope. Now, who is observing that? So it is actually on the other side, and they are looking at the wrong place. So the torchlight is at the wrong place, actually. So, I mean, is that not something which they really understand when they are looking through the microscope? So I always wondered that.
Yeah, at some point you should stop wondering, because otherwise you'll keep on wondering and your time will get wasted wondering. And so I don't want your time to get wasted wondering. And so Kathopanishad makes it very clear. What does he say? Shreyascha preyascha manushya metaha. Okay, prayas. That's all the whole world of prayas. And it's all the analysis of the observed. Okay. And this is Shreyas. Shreyas is the analysis of the self. Okay. Now, number 2, Kathopanishad, same Yamadharma Raja says one more thing. Duramete viparite vishuchi avidyaya cha vidyeti jnata. Yama makes a very bold statement. Duramete viparite vishuchi. These two are opposites of each other. The pursuits are opposite and they are diverging also. Look at that. Opposites all right, but diverging. The more I get into this thing, the more away and away I'll go from myself. Okay, because I'm still peering at this object. Okay, and I'm not thinking about the peerer. I'm thinking about the peered. I'm constantly looking for what I should peer at or what new I can peer at, and so the whole mindset is different. So Viparite, look at Yama. I mean, this is which Upanishad, and when these Upanishads came itself, we don't know, and they are talking the language. It is so clear also. Duramete, Viparite, Vishuchi, and then he gives a name to these two things. Earlier he said Shreyas and Prayas and Shreyas. Now, Avidya Yacha Vidyeti Jnata. This Prayas is called Avidya. He gives the name ignorance to the science. What a bold statement. How can you call science as ignorance? So much knowledge is growing. Encyclopedia after encyclopedia they're writing. Each encyclopedia is getting thicker every year. And you're calling it ignorance? It is ignorance because when it comes to your own self, when you're looking for Ananda, it is all ignorance. You are not going to get from this analysis. This is it. So therefore, you are right in wondering what
There is something called promissory materialism in them. I mean, because life has been, earlier I didn't know that. Now I know very much to the molecule level I can define. Give me another 100 years or something, I will be able to tell you there is a conscious or about the consciousness or something. They say that there's a promissory materialism.
promising.
There is a group of people.
It's a nice way to escape from the reality, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
And on top of the people are not marketing people. So we don't go out and market to all these people. No, please, you should look at us. You should see our analysis. You should come to my classes. No, we are not interested in that. And it won't work also anyway. So thank you, Prasad.
Kena Upanishad also talks about this, like with the Sambhuti and Asambhuti. Kena Upanishad also talks about that Aparavidya.
Okay. Correct. Sambhuti, Asambhuti. Okay. Correct. Since we studied Kata, I was quoting it. Thank you, Ramaji. And Ramji, go ahead.
Guruji, I had a question regarding the Karana Sharira and the problem of ignorance. So the Karana Sharira, which is the causal body, is the most subtle. Right? It's associated with avidya. Since the causal body is defined as ignorance, how can ignorance itself be a body? Is the definition of a body there like a philosophical definition that says a Karana Sharira is a positive entity, or is it a negation of absence of knowledge?
You mean a negation of knowledge?
Of knowledge, yeah. Sorry, negation of knowledge.
All right. So this is an important question, friends, because it's now talking about the subtlest thing. And Sthula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram. Sukshma Shariram itself is somewhat, that itself is subtle. We say Sukshmam is what? It is not the actual eyeballs, but the actual power of sight in the eyeballs and that whole system. All that we talked about. That itself is getting, that's why Devatas are all there, getting involved there. Now, Karana Sharira, Avidya. So, Ram, we have to remember one thing here. This Avidya, okay, many people say Avidya is absence of knowledge. Based on our experience, I have this knowledge or I didn't have this knowledge. I don't have the knowledge of how Wi-Fi works. Then I go do some Googling and study and this and that and purpose. Now I know very well how Wi-Fi works. So knowledge of Wi-Fi has arisen in my head. This is the common experience and the common explanation also. We Vedantis are very different. We say avidya is an entity, a positive entity, which is jnana virodhi, which is opposed to knowledge. Opposed to knowledge. It is a positive entity. Why it's a positive entity? Because if it was not an existing entity, you would not see it at all. Ajnanam is not there at all, would not be there. Even for me to say I am ignorant, I am aware of my ignorance. And so I can't be aware of a non-existent thing. So existence is given to that ignorance. And it is a positive entity, no doubt. And it is a powerful entity, positive and powerful also. And a non-existing entity, how can it be powerful? You said it is non-existing. Suppose I tell you, watch out, watch out, watch out, and the horns of this rabbit are going to poke you. If I say, what are you talking? Rabbit itself is not there in your house. Okay, let rabbit be there. But horns of the rabbit are going to poke you means what? It can't do anything. Horns of a rabbit cannot do anything to us. Okay, cannot do anything. Or even the horns of a lion can't do anything to us. Mouth of a lion can do a lot of damage, but horns of a lion can't do any damage. Therefore, this non-existing idea for avidya has to be slowly shed. It is powerful, Maya Shakti. And so we can't, otherwise Maya becomes non-existent and all that. And we can't, that's not acceptable. And so that is the approach we take, Ram.
Okay. So Guruji, if in a relatively simplistic form, if I ask 3 questions for myself, and I try to write this down here. I am looking stressed. That is identification with the Stula Sarira. I am intelligent or I am depressed. That is an identification with the Karana Sharira. I do not know myself. That is an identification with my the second one was with the Sukshma Sarira, and the third one is I do not know myself, would be the Karana Sharira. Is that a fair way to think about it?
Yeah, that is fine. That is exactly what it is. That's what it is.
Thank you,
And
Guruji.
the importance of Karana Shariram is avyaktam, means everything disappears, we say, when I'm asleep. Everything disappears can't be true. Can't be true. Appearance cannot come from total disappearance. Not possible. Yeah. This is utterly scientific in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's it. So that Karana Shariram is that unmanifest state where everything is waiting for the right time to just spring.
Makes sense. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Thank you. So how's your job situation, Ram?
Still going, Guruji. I think we'll...
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Guruji.
Hari Om.
Dhanyawad, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you.